I got something I want to say. I was gonna wear my Seattle Hawks hat. I was gonna say Seattle Hawks hat because when the Knicks was down, bro, when the Knicks was down in Atlanta, I'm getting text messages from my brother-in-law. I ain't heard this dude in months, bro. It look like your team in trouble, this, that. I was like, it's a long series. He's like, I don't know, this, that, and the other. And and it's funny because that's why I like The Last Dance. Because people like to talk stuff when they up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When Mike was holding that back, he's like, yeah, with the cigar in his mouth, yeah. When it's tied up, let's see who talk now. And that's
Right.
the whole thing.
Right.
When we tied up, I didn't hear from we won in Atlanta. I ain't hear from we won in Atlanta again. But guys, so J. Lou, this real is for you, baby. I put my Seahawks hat because I don't see no Hawks.
You won't claim it. You is a slouch. Live in your mom basement. They mad, they hate, get irritated. Stop complaining. Stop back chasing. Can't wait for it. You gotta take it. If you don't.
What it do? It's your boy Lifeline. Lifeline presents Bring It To You GOAT Metrics. This is episode 53. We got Benny Blanco in the building. What's up, B?
Yo, feeling good. Beautiful day out here in New York City after the Knicks win. Listen, man, I can't complain, man. Life is good.
I know that's right. Son. I know that's right. And it's not just that with a win, it's how we won. So we're going to jump right into the Knicks right now. The game won. So we in round 2 right now. The Sixers against the New York Knicks. The Knicks beat them 137-98. Won by like 39 points. How you feel about that win, B? And then who wins the series and how many games? But let's get to the game first. How you felt about that win and how the Knicks came out and just by halftime it was over, up by 23 by halftime. How you felt about that victory?
Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. If you're asking me what the series gonna be based on that first game, shit, man, I think we're gonna sweep them. I like right off the back. Let's get right into it. I think Jalen Brunson laid out a message to Maxey or to anybody who think that they're gonna stop him from scoring. They got something else coming because he let them know he's gonna be a problem as far as stopping him from scoring.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful to watch. I don't know if you know, have you heard throughout the whole entire year, oh, he's too small. He can't lead a team to the playoffs, to a finals, this, that, and the fact, all year round, all the noise or whatever. I hope all these people were looking at that first quarter. I really do, because the dude was determined to score the basketball. It was beautiful to see. Listen, I think you gotta give credit to Brown, Coach Brown. He involved Embiid in as many pick and rolls as possible, where the dude can't move his feet, and we took advantage of that fully, and we need to continue it. I think that the strategy here moving forward is involve Embiid in all types of pick and roll because the guy can't move his feet.
Yeah. And then it don't hurt for Bridges to run into his stomach, when he's trying to run through the pick too. So when they set a screen, when Philly set a screen or MB set a screen and Bridges ran through it, he hit MB and MB wasn't the same the rest of the game. He hit him in the stomach, the ribs, or whatever. So, I don't even know if he did it on purpose, but you don't want anybody to get hurt like that, but you out here where it gets
Right.
physical. And then
Right.
Embiid is a physical player. He's just usually the one imposing his physicality on other players,
Absolutely.
And he's very crafty. So he was getting Townsend in the foul trouble. Now, normally I was thinking game 6. you know, 6 games. I was thinking 6 games when the series started. After I seen what Philly did to Boston, and then I just looked at how the Knicks, it took the Knicks 6 games to beat Atlanta. So I was thinking like maybe because these guys is better scorers and Paul George is a great two-way player. Even at the age he is now, he's still a great two-way player. And to your take, Brunson had his way with everybody on their team. Everybody. It was like he was in a rhythm. It's like they didn't even knock him off his rhythm. So if Brunson could stay in a rhythm, it's going to be a real problem. He was running drills on them. He was running drills on them. He was doing what he wanted to do. It was like they was a part of his practice. Brunson was killing him so bad, it was like they was a part of his practice. Like all the stuff he was working on, it's like his drill coach was on the sideline, like, you know, just giving him plays to do. You know, 3 dribbles, step back here. You know, 4 dribbles, do this, spin, you know, little teardrop here. You know, it was just crazy how he did. And I wish Seb was here because I haven't really checked the stat line for the 3 games we run in a row against Atlanta. But when me and Seb was talking about a week or so ago, I told him whenever the Knicks, when all 4 of our top guys hit 15 points, it's a problem for whoever. It's a problem for whoever. And 15 points is not a lot of points.
Right.
It's not a lot of points. I mean, really, you getting like each player get like four points a quarter. You know what I mean? That's 16 points. It's not a lot of points. But last night it showed you what we did, and we didn't even play the whole game. But all our 4 guys, except for Josh Hart, all the 4 starters had 17 or better.
Right.
17 or better. And that's where the Knicks are really at their best because we do have a bench. We don't have no singular guy off the bench that got crazy numbers, but we had a collective bench all year. And when we play bench guys, even like Kolek has spots during the year when he was balling. It's just that we got so many players. Yeah, that's what you was calling them. That's what you was calling them. So right now, I feel good about it. So let me ask you a question. Before last night's game, right? Before the blowout, you know, what you thought the series was going?
Put it like this: like before game 1, I kept telling everybody I'm concerned about Maxey. I'm concerned about Maxey. Maxey's speed and his ability to score the ball, to me, you know, it's a threat. It's a major threat. I don't know what happened last night. I don't know what kind of scheme Coach Brown had where it just eliminated Maxey completely. I mean, I don't know where he ended up. I know he was in double figures at some point, but ineffective points. You know what I'm saying? Embiid is just a big bully. He's a big bully. He's a crybaby. Listen, let's not forget, a couple of years ago when we eliminated Philly, Embiid ended Mitchell Robinson's career, which I was so upset at the NBA because they didn't even give him a technical foul and they did not throw him out the game. It was a non-basketball play. He pulled his leg, ended Mitchell Robinson's season, and then the following season, he missed half the season due to the same injury. NBA did nothing about that. So I don't want to hear nothing about Embiid, that he's hurt, this and that. Yo, payback time's a bitch.
Yeah, that's a fact. I remember that. I remember that series. But what you call it came through us because we still put them out. But I think that's when Harkenstein played good back then. So yeah, we still put them out of here. But it was still a battle. It still was a battle that year. And it always been a battle for us. We always could beat Philly. But it's just Embiid is just a big force. And then
Mm-hmm.
he puts so much pressure on your defense. And with Towns right now, Towns could really put pressure on. Towns plays smart in the second half. So, but you still ain't say what you thought before the season. I mean, before the series, before the first game, how many games you thought it would have been?
How many
5,
games we was
6?
gonna
What you
go?
thought?
I mean, to play it
Yeah,
to play it safe. You know, Knicks and 6. Knicks and 6.
I
That's
got
always
you.
the
I got.
safe. That's always the safe call. You know, the crowd chant. The chant is always Knicks and 6. But after
I
the
got
first
it.
game, the listen, what's the coach for Philadelphia name? Whatever his name is, he's gonna have to go back to the lab and come up with something because the way we was moving the ball, I love the way
Yeah,
Town played. Listen, is Embiid really gonna guard Town? So I saw a couple of times Embiid got him one-on-one. He
yeah,
gave Towns too much space. Towns hit him with the 3. Bah! A couple of times. Then on one play, he stepped up. He went right around him for the dunk. Listen, what are they going to do? The whole game plan is involved Embiid in all types of pick and rolls and stuff because the guy can't move his feet, man.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real. I think this is gonna be a hell of a series. You know, I still feel like I believe if we knock their heart out, then we probably could end it in a gentleman's sweep. But I said no less than 6. Like just me looking at the matchup, I'm like, but now after seeing it yesterday, I, it could be a gentleman's sweep, or it could even be a sweep. It just depends. But did you hear about Philly not letting New Yorkers like get their tickets over there? Did you hear about that?
Again, Embiid is at the forefront with that nonsense. Like, dude, you really got to come out publicly to your fans and make a statement like that. Like, dude, and we don't gotta do like us, New York. Come to the Garden. You know what I'm saying? We welcome it. Come get this. You know what I'm saying? And he's over here like, oh, don't sell your tickets to Knicks fans, this and that. They did it a couple of years ago. They did the same thing because we go to Philly and we take over. But guess what? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're going to Philly. We're gonna have some cheese sticks. It's gonna be fun.
That's that's what's up. I mean, the win was so good last night. Well, last night that I went and bought. I had a Philly steak today. I had a Philly steak today, but it was an impossible Philly steak. It's how to eat a little healthier these days, man. It was an impossible Philly steak, but it was still good. I just felt like, the way we put it down on Philly last night, man. I just felt like it was only right. It was only right, And
Mm-hmm.
I need to send the Philadelphia Sixers the impossible Philly steak I had because they don't want no beef. They don't want no beef with us. You know what I'm saying? They do
No,
not want no
no.
beef. They don't. It's funny how I seen them look depleted. Like, and I
Right.
know Philly fans are gonna hear this or whatever. Like they look depleted. Like they didn't have an answer. And even though Paul George had a decent shooting, he really didn't affect
Right.
nobody defensively. He didn't affect nobody defensively. And I was surprised that because I thought his defense was going to help. And Philly is a defensive squad with it's Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is the coach. So
Nick Nurse.
but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, so but it's like I felt like what's his name? Obrey, what's his name? Kelly can't think his name.
Oubre.
Oubre. Oh, Kelly Oubre. Yeah, I felt like him and Edgecombe and Paul George, those three was gonna apply some defense, some kind of way to kind of, man, it was like they was non and void, bro. I don't know if it was the Garden. I don't know what it was, or we might just be on one right now. We might just be. That's
Listen,
4 in a row. We might be on one.
yo, I agree with you 100%. And remember, in the last segment, I brought it to the table. Brunson's mid-game is thick. And you alluded to it, is that, he has an arsenal. And,
Yeah.
it's on the playoffs, it's been on full display. Like, it's not like Brunson's it's killing you with 3-pointers. It's all mid-range stuff. Hitting you with all types. It's beautiful to watch. And if you go back and look at the highlights, they had Edgecombe, couldn't do nothing. Paul George couldn't do nothing. Maxey couldn't do nothing. They switched and put Oubre on him. Nothing. Nothing was working. It just, his arsenal is crazy.
Is it, because you said that last episode, is it easy to say that he might not have Kyrie handle, but he has a bag that's up there with Kyrie and Harden and these guys? Is that safe to say?
Listen, I say yes. I say yes to that. He does it in a different way. He's not going to hit you with the flashy dribble, but he makes up for it in his footwork and his ability to get the shot. And it's like, I feel bad when he gets, they pick and roll, right? So then if a big man step up, that big man has no chance. He got no chance because he's either going to pull up on him or just take it to the rack on him. It's beautiful to see.
I got you. So we're gonna move to the next question, man. Is the young guns. The young guns wasn't quick to the draw in Texas last night. They played a good game. Well, they didn't really play a good game, but they kept the game close. But Minnesota pulled out in the fourth quarter. Who wins this series and how many games?
Listen, I can't call it. Did Ant-Man play last night?
Yeah, he did. He played. He had like 18
Okay.
points. He had like 7 points in the first half. Then he had like 11 points in the fourth quarter. He's still on minute restriction. He said to his standards, he didn't play a good game, but he helped his team win.
With that being said, man, listen, I'm rooting for San Antonio. I really am. I'm rooting for them, but I don't think Ant-Man's gonna allow it to happen. And then because like I'm still in disbelief that they beat Denver. And some of them games they beat without the Ant-Man.
Mhm.
So Minnesota has some talent over there. When it comes down to it, they do play D.
Yeah.
So are the young guns gonna overcome that? I think their lack of experience, they're gonna fall a little bit short. I'm rooting for them. Trust me, I am. But I think their lack of experience, they still need a couple of years.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I'm like you. I want them to win. I'd rather them come out the West anyway than OKC. I mean, it's for the Knicks because I'm trying to do a matchup thing. And I feel like our experience, we have players that did some things in these leagues. Like Wemby is a phenomenal guy. He's still up for MVP. Him and Shea now, because that's a question I'm gonna ask you in a minute. But him and Shea, since they in the second round, they still up for MVP. But the guys is young, for one, and then for two, it's just the way these guys was looking. It was like nobody, like Harper led them in scoring with 18 points off the bench.
Right. Right.
So, and Wemby, let me ask you a question, because Gobert is on Wemby's national team, was international team. He played for France or whatever. So they teammates. Do you think this was just you knowing the guy too much because you played with him so much? Or was it just Wemby just had a bad game?
It could be a little bit. It could be a little bit of both. Um, like you said, they play together. They seen each other's game. So Gobert knows what he likes to do. He knows where he's uncomfortable with. So, but Wimby's gonna have to like figure that out. You know what I'm saying? He's too good of a talent to let Gobert shut him down like that. That's it could happen. It could be a factor, but he's so talented that he has so much to his game. You know what I'm saying? So he can if he could take it. You know what? This game, I'm gonna shoot 7 3-pointers. He has the ability to do that, and there's nothing that Gobert or anybody over there can do that. So he will have to figure that out.
Yeah, I got you too. You know, that's one thing about Wemby, and it's just like with the Celtics. Like you got to know when to adjust your game. So I believe he might have shot like 7 or 8 3-pointers last night. He might have been 0 for 8, and he
Okay.
had more blocks than points. And that's different. He had a triple double. I think he had 11 points and like 12 blocks.
Wow.
So yeah, so he set a record for blocks. He set a record for blocks. So on the defensive end, he played pretty good. Offensively, and that's where these MB type of players where they could stay outside and come inside. Even at Wemby could do the same, but I think at times he don't want to. And he
Uh-huh.
don't realize he let the other team off the hook by not posting up. Because what's gonna happen is if you start posting up, the defense gonna have to collapse, and then you get your guys open shots.
Yep.
When you're on the perimeter, you spread the court, but at the same time, you don't let everybody else be able to get open shots. And at that time, you get open shots, and by you being that close to the basket, you get an easy bucket. But what you feel like the series ago, and who you think gonna pull it out though? We already seen Texas go down. I say Texas. We see the Spurs go down. Do you think with the inexperience they could still win the series?
Um, I believe so. I believe so. They just it's gonna come down to adjustments by the coach. The coach is gonna have to make some adjustments and how slow down Minnesota. It's gonna be tough. It's a lot to ask for some a young team like that, but it's definitely possible. Um, Still, I got Minnesota in this, man. Even though I don't
Mm,
want to, but I got Minnesota winning this.
yeah, yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna pick Minnesota in 6 or 7, but I didn't want them to win either. And the Spurs might pull this out. And that's one thing I want to say about this. That's why I don't mind picking and being wrong. Like I'm listening to a lot of the analysts right now. A lot of guys is upset. Like that's why we analyze the situation and we give our feedback. A lot of people be scared to say the wrong thing. If you say the wrong thing and the other team win, that's good for basketball. That's good for basketball because that doesn't mean the obvious is that obvious because you still have to go out and play the game. I was listening to the Cousins with Tracy McGrady, and Tracy McGrady says something. He said, it's gonna be Minnesota's gonna be closer than people think in the Spurs series. He said that. He said that before the series started. He said it's gonna be closer than people think. Because every team had players. And one thing we
Mhm.
don't realize is this is a gift and a curse because most of the Spurs players are wing players. Like,
Mm,
and they probably more small forward guard situation than anything. They don't have a Randall. You know what I mean? They don't
yeah.
have a cat. I mean not cat. Um, Nas Reed, McDaniels. You know, these players is almost like they have opposites. Like Minnesota has better height players, skilled height players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, San Antonio they have with Wemby, but after Wemby it stops. But they have more wing type skilled players.
Right.
So this is gonna be if Minnesota could put their length and size and athleticism against, you know, the Spurs. You know, I don't even want to pick Minnesota, but because I feel like both teams didn't play their best. So it's hard. I would have picked the Spurs to start this. I'd have picked the Spurs in 6. But right now, if Minnesota, this is going on a limb. If Minnesota could beat them and then beat OKC, this might be, and if they could win a championship, they got to finish off with a championship. But if Minnesota was to go through those 3 layers, that would be more impressive than maybe even Dirt championship. That
Mm.
might be even more impressive than Dirt championship because you going through Jokic, you going through all the MVPs. Just
Right.
think about it.
Right.
If you go through Jokic, Wemby, and then Shea and make it to, even if you don't even win a championship, if you make it to the championship, man, you did something miraculous. That's crazy. I want to say miraculous or impeccable. I don't know what word to use, but to go through all the MVPs to make it to the finals would be crazy. Now, just by saying that, I might be rooting for them now. I might be rooting for Ant-Man. I was with the young guns. I want them to do what they do, but right now, by saying that, 'cause I love an underdog. I love an
No doubt.
underdog. So we'll
No
see. We'll
doubt.
see what it do.
But
But
still,
I'm not. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I still want to see the young guns uh get past this series. Gonna be tough. I want to see more because I think in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? You have to take your game to the next level. So we already seen Wimby's game, but the playoffs will force you to take it even more. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike was great. And then he got into a playoff series with the Lakers and he did that. Nobody's seen that. That was the playoffs that took it out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to see that. But hey man, listen, I like both teams. I think if Minnesota is gonna go ahead, Randall has to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Stop being wild, stop turn over the ball, and just play consistent. And they have a really good chance.
That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. I'm going to go to the third question. It's OKC versus the Lakers. Who
Hmm.
wins the series and how many games? Because I don't know. I don't know if it's a game on, but we on OKC and the Lakers. Who win the series and how many games? It's on you, B.
Well, I'm a Laker hater. I'm a Laker hater. I don't know if Luke is playing or not. That that means everything in this series.
Mm,
Um, if it's just LeBron and the rest of the crew, forget it. OKC is gonna run through them. It's just how I see it. If
okay.
Luca does play, it brings a different element. And can they gel? Can Luca and Braun gel together to win this series? They have the talent to, I think. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, OKC has been very steady in what they do, and that's hard to break. This whole entire team's been operating in a certain level for a very long time. Everybody knows their job. Everybody's in the right place. Everybody know what they're doing defensively. That's very hard to beat.
Mm.
But I got OKC, man. Even if Luca comes back, I think I got OKC.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, right? April 7th, the Thunders beat the Lakers. Um, April 2nd, the Thunder beat the Lakers. February 9th, the Thunder beat the Lakers. November 12th, the Thunder beat the Lakers. And then it say April 8th. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, it seemed like the Lakers ain't beat them the last 5 games, 4 or 5 games. So it might be the sweep that people is thinking about. If anything, it'd be a gentleman's sweep. Okay, and the last question is Detroit and Cleveland. And it's sad because the game is on right now. That's why we ain't gonna have a long episode. Right now, the Pistons is up by 16. It's 30-14 in the first quarter.
Yep. What happened to Cleveland, man? What's going up with Cleveland, man? Listen. Um, I want Cleveland to push the Pistons as much as they can. I want them to push them as much as Orlando did. Take
Yeah.
them to a game 7. Do I think they could beat them? Hell no. Hell no.
Mm.
It's just you have to withstand the Pistons defense, because if you look at that series where Orlando, the thing is, Kate Cunningham, he's a scoring machine, man. This guy could
Yeah.
score. And I'm not talking about, I'm like, yo, his jump shot is legit. He has a
Yeah.
legit jump shot. And he's big. He's a big dude.
Mm.
That's a problem. Um, I don't see Cleveland beating them, but I just want them to push them to as many games as possible. Not because I'm a Knicks fan or whatever. I think we give them the biggest challenge because we have different weapons.
Yeah, and the thing about it, to be honest with you, Cleveland, some might say has a better starting 5 than us.
Mhm.
Because when you look at Allen and you look at Mobley, I mean, Mobley was an all NBA player last year. Donovan Mitchell was an all NBA player last year. James Harden is an all-time great, and he still
Right.
has enough in the tank. So really, this looks like it could really be something. But for some odd reason, Cleveland been underachieving. I had a guy on Instagram talk about Cleveland, and he was like, he was saying about everybody that got hurt and this, that, and the other. Cleveland just have a different type of demeanor, and they have enough skills. Man, John Mitchell's probably scored 70 before, so they have the firepower. But for some odd reason, it seemed like they just can't put it together at the right time to move forward. Like last year, they was the best in the East. Like they had won all them
Mhm.
games, won 60 plus games. And it seemed like it was on a collision with OKC and Cleveland to meet in the finals. But Cleveland couldn't push through. So right now, I hate to say, I give them 6. I give them the benefit of doubt that maybe win 2 on your own floor. But to be
Right.
honest with you, I'm realistically thinking gentleman sweep. I think
Mm.
Orlando done woke up. Yeah, I'm thinking Orlando done woke up the beast in Detroit. They
Right.
got close enough to be losing that they had to fight. And right now, just the same way as the Knicks, once you get down 2-1, it get a little different. And you gotta really tighten up your shorts and really go lace up your shoes and really go after it. I think once Detroit started getting after it, Orlando couldn't take it. So now I'm looking at the Pistons right now. I think they have their mojo. We'll see what this game does. I mean, I'd rather the Cavs beat the Pistons because it's going to be a matchup, but I don't really think that the Cavs could really. I think the Cavs really can't see past the Pistons because the Pistons are physical, and I believe Cleveland is soft. Cleveland is soft, and I think that's how Indiana punked us last year. Indiana
Mhm.
punked us,
Right.
and sometimes you have those teams that play you hard enough and tough enough that it frustrates you where you're not even playing your game anymore.
Right.
You letting them dictate the game, the pace, and everything else. Yep.
Right.
So that's it, bro. We went over all the matchups right now, just 4 series. I'm gonna run it back to you. Both of us picked the Knicks. Um, both of us picked well, no. Yeah, because we both leaning towards Minnesota. We both picking Minnesota. And it's unfortunate because we both would have picked the Spurs.
Right.
But right now we looking at and we both want the Spurs to win.
Right.
But we just looking at, and then with the Lakers, we both picking OKC.
Yep.
Nobody's questioning. And then with Detroit, we both picking Detroit.
Yeah.
So here you go. Now I got one question for you, right? And we'll break it down later on. You know how we do last pick in the park, right?
Yeah.
I got a segment called Which Chip is Greater? So this just ain't no real analytics for this. It's just for our opinion. But
Okay.
I heard Kendrick Perkins, and a shout out to Cameron. We small town, but shout out to Cameron, man. Cameron is disrespectful. He said a lot of crazy Knicks stuff, but he was on First Take today. Had a nice suit on. He gave, and Cameron, man, I'm probably older than him too. But I look up to Cameron. He makes some moves, and he could talk sports, and he know how to give the takes to keep everybody engaged. Cameron worked on his craft greatly, man. And when I seen him on First Take, because sometimes I think that Cam, he's the wildest dude. Like you want to have his immunity because Cameron says the wildest stuff. Like we sometimes, like last episode, I started editing some of the stuff we said. Kept a couple of things out the show. You know what I mean? But Cameron has full
Yes.
range to
Yes.
say whatever
Yes.
he want to say. He say some of the craziest stuff, and he get in that bag. So I respect Cam. But Kendrick Perkins said something about damn, on my mind. I started talking, giving Cam credit. I forgot what was going on. Oh! You talking about LeBron being a GOAT because he beat the greatest team. So I started thinking about things, right? You know, and to me, I respect. I give LeBron more credit. Well, I guess that is the Cleveland win, the Cleveland win because he did beat them. But I give Dirk Nowitzki credit for beating Miami because the path that he went through, beating the Lakers, beating OKC, then beating LeBron and them, like that was a little bit different. So I don't know
Right.
how you feel, but I want to know which chip you feel was greater though. Do you feel like by by the Cleveland Cavaliers, that was a good win by the Cleveland Cavaliers beating the Golden State Warriors? They won 73 in 9 games that year. That's the most winning that a team ever done. Or do you feel like Dirk Nowitzki championship over Miami was more difficult?
I'm gonna say Dirk. I'm gonna say Dirk. I witnessed it. Um, the mega team was formed. It was designed for them to win the championship. Um, all odds were against Dallas, and Dallas had a beautiful series. They played completely team basketball. They got the ball to Dirk when they needed it. Other players stepped up. JJ Barea was a big part of that. I remember watching that. JJ Barea, a little short Puerto Rican point guard coming off the bench, was giving Miami the business. It didn't matter who it was. So I'm gonna go with Dirk on this. It was beautiful to watch, and I think it was beautiful for basketball because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. Everybody always try to get these mega teams and the big three and the big two and all this stuff. At the end of the day, you got to play team ball.
Yeah, that's a fact, and I'm with you too. I think Dirk championship and Detroit Pistons championship with Chauncey Billups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two
Mm-hmm.
championships was
Yep.
championships I didn't think they was gonna win. You
Yep.
know, I like most championships is either close, but or you kind of know who already gonna win.
Right.
Those two championships in my lifetime, I didn't know who was gonna win. I just knew the Lakers was gonna beat Detroit. You
Yeah.
know, I just
Yep.
knew it. I just knew that they was gonna beat Detroit, and I just knew Miami was gonna bust Dallas down. But that's why, like my man used to say, I don't care how many dudes you got on your team. Only one player got the ball when it's time to go, when it's time to shoot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Only one player got the ball. You can't put all 8 hands on the ball at one time. And that's why you protect every possession. You can have all the stars you want, but it's only one ball. Everybody can't shoot at the same time. So that's why when you have a team that got cohesiveness and everybody working together, then it makes for good basketball. So I'm with you with that one. So when we go against which chip is greater, we both say Dallas. Dallas over Miami was a better chip than Cleveland over Golden State.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, bro. Well, I ain't gonna hold you back. You want to drop a line or something? If you want to say something, you know, put something in or whatever. I got something I want to say. I was gonna wear my Seattle Hawks hat. I was gonna wear my Seattle Hawks hat because when the Knicks was down, bro, when the Knicks was down in Atlanta, I'm getting text messages from my brother-in-law. I ain't heard this dude in months, bro. It look like your team in trouble, this, that. I was like, it's a long series. He's like, I don't know, this, that, and the other. And and it's funny because that's why I like The Last Dance. Because people like to talk stuff when they up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But Mike was holding that back. He's like, yeah, with the cigar in his mouth. Yeah. When it's tied up, let's see who talk now. And that's
Right.
the whole thing.
Right.
When we tied up, I didn't hear from we won in Atlanta. I ain't hear from we won in Atlanta again. But guys, so J. Lou, this real is for you, baby. I'm with
Yeah.
my Seahawks hat because I don't see no Hawks. I don't see no Hawks right now. So I was with my Seahawks hat. You know what I mean? But anytime you see my Seahawks hat on, I'm gonna wear it the next time we record. But anytime with my Seahawks hat, that's for all my Atlanta fans, that wanted to talk stuff once they went up. But I ain't hear him. Boosie, he said he's gonna cut his hair. No, I'm messing with you, bro. Well, you got that's it. That's probably why Sam ain't get on. Sam was supposed to cut his hair, man.
Listen,
Yeah, that's what's
he
up.
waiting after game 2 to get on, but it's all good.
I ain't mad at him. So you got a line you want to drop before we get out of here?
Hey, listen, man. I love this Knicks team. I like the way Towns played. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was bigging up the whole fight that Towns had with MB way back in the day, this and that. The media is just amping shit up. I think Towns was cool, collective. He hit some threes with Embiid in his face. He played his role. I think he played beautifully. And if the Knicks continue like this and they all get around Brunson and everybody else, man, this is going to be a beautiful year, man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. And to my dude, Smitty Lope, man, I know you're a Phillies fan since you was a kid and everything. May the best team win right now. That's all I got to say. May the best team win. I ain't trying to beef with none of my guys right now. May the best team win. I'm just impressed with the Knicks putting up these numbers right now. Right now, we leading the playoffs in scoring right now. And we one of the better teams with defense, too. Like the last 4 wins, the other team ain't score 100. So we doing pretty good right now. But that's what's up, B. That's
No
another
doubt.
episode of GOAT Measures. I'm your boy Life Eyes, Benny Blanco. You know, they say titles is earned and awards is given. Let's get it. All right, peace.
Close your mouth. You can save it without a doubt. You won't claim it. You is a slouch. Live in your mom basement. They mad, they hate, and irritated. Stop complaining. Stop back chasing.